look at this Unicorns team composition, we know that Hilly's not going to build AP. We know there's a heavy amount of physical damage. So League of Ninja Tabai, if you're a G2 supporter.
Yes, but what you're going to see from Unicorns, Trevor, is let's go bot lane. Let's fight around Malza ulti. Let's roam with our Talon. Let's Shen ulti in. Let's have our Gragas down here for a gank. This is a party in the bottom lane against Mithy and Sven, and it needs to work for Unicorns to win the game.
Their entire comp is based around diving in. And then obviously G2, they have a very reactionary comp as well. You don't want to dive and walk into Cassiopeia, into two Varuses, WTF, into a Mithy who can silence you on the way. It's a very nasty spell effect to silence because you're still moving, so you don't actually know sometimes when your spells aren't chaining the way you want to. And obviously Fiddle Ultimate can be a good reactionary counter.
It can definitely be a good reactionary counter, but Fiddle likes to push the lane. That's how he kind of wins his lane. Against this comp from Unicorns of Love, if Mithy is actually playing too over-aggressive, he will get ganked multiple times and roamed on. Like, this is the kind of game where a level 3 roam from Talon could happen.
What I love about the Unicorns of Love's composition, they've looked at one of the areas they can focus. G2's strongest lane, G2's strongest duo, and said, if we can break that, we can break G2 Esports. Hamburg is behind the pink ponies. And their composition, it is do or die time. 0-2 down in the series. Let's find out if G2 will once again reign supreme, defending champions of Europe, current kings, holders of the crown. It's G2 taking on UOL.
So we saw the Talon now being locked in by Exile. Offensive summoner spells, he needs to be active on the map. We can talk a bit about his laning phase once the minions arrive, but bot lane, Mithy with their fiddlesticks, a lot of support's being banned away. And again, this fiddle, if you get pushed in, you don't offer a whole lot.
Now, I remember a time where there was a notable, strong fiddlesticks player back in, say, Season 3 or so, who really understood the laning essence of this champion.
Yes, Deficio, I believe his name was, when he introduced it. Now, the crowd can't spell UOL, which is bit of a shame.
It's a bit of a worrying trend right now, but that's fine. Tell us more about this fiddlestick support.
Well, basically, back in that day, it's of course Mithy, our good friend, who actually introduced it to the European scene as a support in the LCS when he joined Lemon Dogs. So good when it comes to just picking off targets. Instant CC with the fear, just point and click with Q. It's been nerfed a little bit, but it's still a good CC duration. And it allows you to create picks. But it's such a weak defensive support. You can only really go forward.
Yeah, and the problem is the most offensive tool, which is the bounce around on that E, has been nerfed. Because it will always look for a minion it has not yet hit before it returns for return visit, rather. So you can't get these cheesy triple bounces that really screw over the lane early. So less variance in the playstyle.
Now, Gragas in the jungle is not always the strongest on the first clear. He wants to get through this first clear here, just like nice and safe, go back to base, return with full HP, and then he can look for the one gank.
Yeah, and when Xerxes played it previously, the one gank paid off massively, and that's what snowballed him into a really strong position in the game. But if Trick could play his really smart, let's find the enemy jungler and completely neutralize his style, then Gragas may actually fall behind.
We should see Trick with control early game, being able to set up a potential gank. Mid lane is being pushed in right now, and one of the reasons Cassiopeia works well against Talon is because you can use the Miasma, the W, onto him, and he can't really jump towards you with Q to really threaten you. And obviously he can't really flash out to escape a gank if he's pushing the lane, and Talon likes to push early. Push, 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 then go back to base, return with an item advantage, go back to pushing lane, and then roam, but that can be punished.
Well, that's what Unicorns need to unlock this team composition. Every time I look at that mini-map, G2 putting pressure. All right, Cocoon into Repel.
They know, because he was spotted on the ward in the Pixel Brush.
He's poking.
Defensive ping came out. Big fan of when teams start just supplementing calls with pings, just in case somebody wasn't quite listening.
Definitely extremely helpful, especially when you look at G2. Some of the communication issues around expect a little bit, you know, showing through. We've seen that a couple times throughout the playoffs, but he's on a comfortable pick in this gangplank.
And he has improved so much. And here the Scuttle Crab taken down, meaning that, ooh, Xerxes is going for a very patient path here. I wonder if he was...
He's spotted now, but they're trying to force the flash.
Then forward.
All right, let's take a look. Mithy's already starting to back away. Xerxes instantly gets terrified, cannot find a body slam.
Very good reaction here. Mithy stepping behind Sven early on, so he was not really at risk, and he could just position himself to then fear the Gragas. No body slam flash. First gank from Trick was also not successful top lane.
Yeah, he was. Fiddle also got kind of changed right there. At first he was afraid. Now he's just terrified. Different mechanic, just walks away from Fiddlesticks in a predictable direction, so your team actually knows where this guy is going instead of just random directions.
Trevor, in your introduction today, when you had Sven on stage, you asked a big question, best AD carry in the West, when you introduced him. The stat from last game was pretty impressive after a rough start, and I think the overall split has been very impressive from Sven as well, so I will say yes. For me, best AD carry in the West. I'm of course very biased as well.
No, thank you for answering that question. That was asked 3.5 hours ago.
Hey, I just want to make sure someone actually listens to your questions, because you do ask a lot of questions.
Great question, by the way.
Thank you. They're not always great questions.
That is also a great observation, by the way. 2 for 2.
I am a little bit more self-aware, but...
Watch the respect here. Lane frozen, but they know Xerxes is a dirty camper, and they're respecting the camp.
I'm excited to see what Sven can do with this Varus, and whether or not Samux on the Lucian will be able to outplay. A lot of support theoretically coming from UOL. If you look at the minimap, still some advantages in favor of G2.
Yeah, and a lot of their confidence in the bot lane is also showing in the item sources. We have never really seen in recent history, I think, Sven opt in for longsword 3 potions. He just constantly goes for the Dorans.
Played for him, making him stronger early on when he is trading here. He says he doesn't need those extra potions. Samux is the kind of guy who goes 3 potions almost all the time, 5-on-5, and just like lifesteal from his talents as well, and he wants to just sustain in lane. Now Trick has not found any openings so far. It's been actually fairly slow and steady laning phase, but Exile, as we talked about on his talent, you want to get out of your lane. He's already gone back, got the long swords, want to push this lane, get level 6, and then we need to see some activity.
Yeah, look at this trading back and forth. Both Sven and Mithy, no potions or cookies remaining.
Yeah, you can't really go for the double Voidling trade on a Fiddlestick support either. You need to do it 1 by 1.
He's trading to a big wave though.
A lot of minions, he's fine. Because if you obviously go for double Voidling trade in the bottom lane, you can just use Let's Bounce there. Or not Let's Bounce, but Bounce the Crow.
I like the recall here from Chachi. Yeah. The wave is pushing towards him. He can go back to base, return to lane, and then expect to actually get denied quite a lot of CS, unless expect TPs to the lane.
That's obviously what we call a freeze. So if you've ever needed the direction of like, what does a freeze look like? Literally what's going on in the top lane. You know, enemy creeps are just vastly outnumbering your own creeps, forces the lane in a really awkward pushing motion, and you can just hold it there.
Yeah, and you might think obviously using TP to lane, that's fine. We see that all the time, but it's not very good against Shen, because now Shen, obviously with his global, can go down to the bottom lane and Expect can't follow. Expect can only ulti to kind of return some damage.
Yeah, there is one thing you can do against the slow stacking wave though. It is obviously pair up with your jungle, look for a dive, but Shen level 6 almost not really going to happen. Luckily for Expect, he also has that second global where he can somehow neutralize the Stand United, and then he would only be behind in TP pressure.
With the Malzahar level 6 though, and Shen showing up, I would definitely give it to Unicorns of Love. Yeah. And that's the play we talked about in Champs League. The bottom lane, it needs to work for them, because Fiddlesticks, once you flash ult him, he's not getting away. He's so squishy. You have to execute that play, and Hylissang, he's getting closer to level 6.
And that's why Expect is playing so aggressive. He does not want this Shen to leave the lane anywhere near full HP. He wants to avoid it at all costs.
And also we have Trick in the bottom lane, because the bottom lane from G2 wants to push the lane out. They don't have any, items right now. They want to go back to base, and they need backup. That's why Trick is here.
All right, Trick, where's the cocoon? Hylissang's very far forward. Samux is
there.
Falling. Hilly, why? Gets caught out. G2 with first blood.
This is what Hylissang did in the last game. He stays when his AD carry is gone to get some more experience on this Malzahar. But you don't have to get that close.
Everything revolved around the bottom line, going well for UOL. And Sven gets first blood.
Yeah, Xerxes pathing around. He's spotted by Control Ward. Perkz should see this and lead to the right of the lane. Now, it is very tough for the Unicorns.
Much like last game though, Mithy uses Flash to kill Hylissang. Hylissang does not use his Flash. He's gonna get level 6. He does have the Shen ulti. There's no Flash on Mithy. G2 honestly should just lane swap right now and get out of this lane, because they will get killed by Shen and Malzahar.
Top lane turret also super low, so it's definitely a viable option here. Perkz scaling quite well in the mid lane. He now should be able to keep the Talon there. The problem right now is if Unicorns introduce roaming... okay.
It's about sending a message.
Zoning. Very important.
I'm a master at zoning ultimates.
Same.
Perkz maybe feeling that ultimate coming in and all of a sudden turning around. Remember, Exile really has to go all in to get that damage down.
I mean, see Sven going down to the bottom lane again. Unicorns already recalled because Samux went back early. Hylissang had the much faster recall by dying as well. Now they're back in lane instantly.
Tempo!
Tempo death.
How does one achieve tempo? Just the sacrifice.
There are many ways to achieve tempo. This is one of the most advantageous.
It's so risky by mid though. Like, this needs to work for Unicorns with that bot lane play. Xerxes, bottom side. Talon can even roam. When do we get level 6 on Hillsang? We get it now. Okay, flash, ulti, Shen ulti. On
Two deep
mid.
wards though. 2 deep wards can spot Xerxes. He needs to creatively.
You don't even need him, man, honestly. Just have him around and then go for the play before he even shows up.
And what time is the window of opportunity too late? I mean, the fact that G2 have already got a kill in that lane, the fact that there's so much pressure on towers, UOL, they're getting to 10 minutes and they're already starting to struggle a little.
I mean, there's the cooldown on Mythi's flash that is a clear indicator of the target that they could go for. These pro players are obviously tracking this, ping the flash in chat, so they're very much so aware that Mythi should be flashless. That's why Xerxes pathing bot, but he will be spotted by the double deep ward combo there, which means expect right now, look at him, he was basing, he's instantly pushing in the top lane. He sees, oh, jungler's bot lane, great, I can play hyper aggressive because it'll be way over a minute for this guy to even come close to visiting me in the top lane.
2 ults are disappearing right now, 1 already gone, so I didn't actually see him return to the tri-brush. They are sitting here with their own control ward on the side of G2. They're playing very safe right now.
And the sweep gives it away as well. Now the Unicorns, they wonder, do they know? Do they know because we're sweeping our brush randomly? Because you never randomly go for a sweep. You only do it when the jungler's setting up, so it's a lot of information being handed over.
Yeah, you can technically still walk into the lane and Xerxes and just go for the play.
Oh,
Number 2, oh, Mythi!
Mythi's in trouble, gets caught by the Nethergrass, barrel goes backwards, and Unicorns, they get the kill. No assist to Samux.
Yeah, no flash.
No flash from Mythi. That was the play we were looking for here. Xerxes saved his as well. Bot lane tower gonna take some damage. G2 cannot contest it because then Shen will ulti down.
And that was just, honestly, incredibly creative from the Unicorns. Mythi was lurking in kind of reactive position where he would punish the engage and a dive. Oh, Varus ultimate goes wide. Tower will drop.
Tower first blood to
Sven.
Unicorn. Xerxes going in. Stand United's being channeled. It will complete. Vizachachi not going to use the flash, but he gets it from Sven.
Yeah, smart move by Chachi here. Just taunts forward, doesn't use his own flash. He forces it away from Sven. He has to respect the taunt flash. Mid lane.
Oh, rake into Shadow Assault. Remember, Perks used that ultimate earlier, but there's not enough damage yet. Exile going to be happy to just win that trade.
Yeah, that's if you play against such a great player like Sven, you have to just rely on him flashing your ability, so you don't have to go for a taunt flash. So cheeky little play from Vizachachi, and Mythi caught in the counter setup, but now he is sneaking mid lane. Talon has not seen this.
Here's the Crow Storm into the terrified Twin Fang for days. You are exiled to the fountain.
A nice little move from Mythi here, coming from base. Walking down mid lane. It's so normal for supports to go from base to mid and then go down to the lane, but Exile this time around probably didn't get the message or the call that Mythi was actually missing.
Yeah. Vanished out of the Lane Kingdom.
And earlier, we saw the communication helping G2 expect pushing. This time around, UOL are punished for it.
Oh, this is so bad. His camera's not even on the screen, by the way. He's probably down. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get these guys. And when Samux starts walking up towards the wall, he knows, like, he must have been spotted. And as he had a little twitch right before they came, I think it was in reaction to Samux, but then it was already too late. Really good punish by Xerxes, though. Finds his first gank.
Xerxes, of course, rookie of the split. Definitely had a great debut to the LCS stage. Not flawless. There were times and periods where Xerxes has struggled to maintain that high level of performance from his debut in the opening few weeks.
I think he's been one of the most consistent players in the EU LCS though this split. Like, reminds us a lot of like Twig and his jungle pathing and style. Xerxes almost never has really a bad game. And I think the stats show that as well, like first and a lot of numbers here, and getting rookie of the split was so well deserved. Won it by a landslide as well. Everyone voted for him as the rookie.
Yeah, unanimous vote right there, almost. And just so comfortable and willing to make risky plays, which fits in so well in Unicorn's playstyle.
All right, Exile looks to jump in, turns around. Actually, I don't even know if it would have hit anyways. Knocks in Diplomacy plus the Ignite. The barrier comes down from Perks. Exile's waiting for an engage. Let's look in the top lane. Mythi gets caught by the Nethergrass. The body slam barrel combo. Xerxes looking for the kill. Mythi survives for a few seconds. He flashes the barrel. He flashes to survive. The culling comes out. Cocoon interrupts it. G2 are not done. Here comes Exile. Flashes forward. Rake gets the kill. Now Trick is in trouble. He's being hammered away from on the Malefic Visions.
It's all started with Exile.
Oh,
it bounced and killed him. But that entire play started with Exile winning the fight mid lane, allowing Unicorns to go aggressive top because Exile will just roam up and join them. Mythi stayed alive, and that actually ended up giving a kill over to G2 on Hillsang.
And G2 has become much more comfortable in these big arena games here, holding the flash, not panic flashing, A little terrified, turnaround, not standing to channel. Mithy waits for the Gragas ultimate to come out, and then flashes out of range. Does he get knocked the other way? Because he would still die, so he had to dodge that projectile. Does so, Trick with the, honestly, perfect cocoon, saving Sven.
Saving Sven in the end here. Sven obviously had no flash in that previous engage. We had down the bottom lane, but again, we see Unicorns play around the Malzahar. It's what we mentioned in Champ Select. It's been working okay for them, picking up a few kills, but they need more.
And it's so exciting to see those small mechanical outplays. The two best teams in Europe. The two teams that were the undisputed leaders in their respective groups.
All right, what's also exciting is that ward just placed by Hylissang in the lane. Mithy, is he sweeping it right now, or did he waste a control ward? Because that was the pristine teleport ward. He spotted it, so now they put a control ward right above where he is currently, because there was a wall ward right there that is the ideal TP ward for Shen. And again, just like the Fisher pointed out, they're constantly looking to make plays around this Malzahar, whatever side of the map he may be on.
Hylissang, flash still available. Mithy, no flash on his side. That could again be a kill. And the reason just one kill is so important is because one kill often this early leads into a tower as well. And then you open up the game.
Are you kidding me? Exile is impossible to hit with a petrifying gaze, but the cocoon finds his target. Twin Fang comes out, Exile survives a few seconds longer, Trick goes up, comes down, gets the kill. Now G2 find another onto Vizicachi. Too much too soon for UOL.
They weave in and out of the fight so well. Reminds us of the 3v5s versus Fnatic here. G2 with Drake with honestly insane accuracy on these cocoons this game.
Oh, Hilly, he's got a flash over the wall. Not an aggressive chase from Sven though, holding on to that summoner spell.
Tower here. He's at least setting up a potential Fiddle ulti over the wall if Xerxes defends.
Okay, Xerxes on top of the miasma. He can't body slam, remember. Tower will not go down because they've run out of minions, and the split pushing Lucian picks up a tower top.
Now, it really seemed like the Shen ulti was very reactive right here, because once Exile dodged that ulti, the Shen ulti took a bit of time before it came in. When he then finally joined, Xerxes weren't ready to commit. If we get the replay, we can see a little bit of split decision making from the Unicorns. I think they could have at least gone for one kill, but they had to respect the bottom lane from G2 roaming as well.
But is that Blasco Fiddle right there on Samux?
Oh, Samux just sticking around.
Split push Lucian, staying after he gets the objective, he knows. But that's what the Unicorns are doing right now. They're all individually looking to fight their way out of this 0-2, because as a team, they're not getting anywhere. That's the problem. Their strength was always for them as a team.
This could be very good if Xerxes goes aggressive.
Another control ward go down. We saw it earlier.
No ultimate for Xerxes though, guys, so if he comes over the wall, flash body slam finds Perks, insta-terrify into the silence and miasma. Xerxes able to walk away with his life. Chachi was waiting in the wings.
Chachi was not in position to join instantly to try and collapse on the three guys of G2 in the mid lane. I actually think there was quite an opening there for Unicorns of Love. But then Chachi wasn't close enough, and then Hylissang didn't have flash to get in range from ulti.
And there's always a part missing, it feels.
Yeah, just like one or two things whenever they start a fight. One guy slightly out of position or missing an ulti for just a few seconds. That opening right there was pretty huge. There was no flash on Perks, but they couldn't really commit enough.
Mithy is still looking a little bit worried because they're bleeding turret damage. They're 0 turrets to almost 3 right now. So this unrelenting pressure from the Unicorns is definitely weighing on the G2. They do not know that they're actually even in gold. It's really hard to track that. When you see turrets down, very rarely are you even or ahead in gold. So G2 may actually feel like they're playing from behind.
So turn is created from Exile. I want to see the Shen ulti already.
3 seconds.
But it's being delayed quite a lot. Now it's a good turnaround from Trick. Xerxes here decides to back away because the call from top lane is the dual lane is coming. So he doesn't want to commit to trying to kill Trick. Steps out, they lose obviously another member because of it. Samux will get top tower, so they're at least getting something in return. Now they're going for this mid tower here.
And I think it's so important that you mentioned the gold is still even despite UOL having the towers. Of course, G2 with some good farm and kills to their name. They're at risk of losing a third tower, but there's good wave clear from G2.
Yeah, but last game, G2 was both winning the split push with the Swain and the team fights. But if you look right now, they have the team fights down with their comp. They have a lot of answers, right? They can kite, they have Miasma, Cocoon, Fiddlesticks. But when you look at the side lanes, it seems like Unicorns of Love are pressing it much deeper and much harder sometimes, and that allows them to rotate and then potentially go for the dive on the mid lane turret. If the mid lane turret falls, G2 will be under a lot of map pressure.
Yeah, G2 needs to respect their Shen ulti a lot in this game, and also the roam some talent. He's one of the champions who can move around the map the fastest. Aurelion Stoll is another one, and whenever you play against these champions, you never feel too safe when you're split pushing if you don't actually see that guy on the map. And Exile right now, he's spotted by a ward and even hit by Blasco.
And I'm really excited to see Exile's talent so far. He sidestepped and dodged every petrifying gaze. This is a guy who really got kind of owned by Power of Evil in the semifinals, at least during the laning phase. And despite great growth throughout the split, now we're seeing him show a little bit of that mechanical proficiency.
I love this ultimate from Expected. Really good setup of the Hylissang.
All right, Xerxes buys a little bit of time. Stand United simply will not finish. Too much damage from GT, and the cooldown is blown.
Just a slow and burning the Malzahar passive. Hylissang, he felt so safe. He had flash, passive, near ward. He backed off the second he saw the position. Then G2 as a team, they just make the right call.
Problem here for Hylissang is there's no push in mid lane from Unicorn. Might get another fight though. Seems not, but the problem here is you can't really go in and clear vision near the enemy jungle if you don't actually push in your mid lane first. His team was at the tower, they couldn't join him, so once obviously G2 saw him, they could just engage and they knew no one could actually react properly. So now Shenhol to use defensively, it's on cooldown. They need that as an offensive tool. Use it on Exile, use it on Xerxes, start a fight.
Win that fight. That's what UOL need to do. They've only got 2 kills to their name. We're getting closer to 20 minutes, and if you look at the items, first big buys are completed for everybody. Expects to have that Triforce and Cull completed for a little while.
Hang on, Party in the top lane.
Yep, Party's going to be over soon as Exile's running away for his life. Flashes the last auto.
Minions!
One more, not going to take him down. Exile, that was too close.
Let's see mid lane.
Let's see, Barrel's going to knock Perks forward. Nethergrass comes out. Petrifying Gaze interrupts nobody. Hilly gets his kill.
Love the ulti from Xerxes here. Big play from the Unicorns allowed. They get mid tower now. That was G2 trying to make a play top side. Exile still alive. Finally some luck in favor of the Unicorns of love.
Greedy Perks, in an attempt to help that turret or prevent it from falling, he tries to front step the Gragas ultimate, but he fails. He could have just flashed out right there. A little bit of hubris from the mid laner, but it actually shows that G2 is under so much pressure in all their lanes that they really are going to, honestly, extremes to try and protect that mid lane turret from falling, but it doesn't happen. Now Unicorns, they can start playing the map.
Unicorns are going to have to play that map to push this lead ahead. They are starting to fall behind, but with that mid tower down, that's going to be some access into G2's jungle a little bit easier. This is a good sign if you're a G2 fan. Expect has been pushing Chachi away fairly comfortably over the last few minutes.
I mean, there's obviously a reason GP is considered a Shen counterpick, despite losing the lane and the pressure early on. If Shen like sits on an early Tiamat, or he's just tankier with Ninja Tabi, eventually this GP will win the side lane push.
Now, sadly though for GP, while his ulti is great for cross mapping, his own teleport is kind of useless. GP TPing in much of the game is not very effective. Gets a late game though, and of course it can be scary. He does die very quickly.
He honestly defends the retreat path very well. So if your 4-man can kind of push you into a corner and you walk into some barrels unspotted, but it's so unlikely. Here, Perks, watch how he tries to juke the ulti forward. I wonder if it's intentional. Yeah, so he tries to step forward, but then he just gets hit, and then his ulti can't cancel Hylissang's buffer because he obviously has the passive available. If Hylissang had no passive, Perks would actually walk out of that one.
Once again, G2 trying to get this tower down, but the minions get killed instantly, and they're sitting on 0 towers on the side of G2 Esports, 100 gold ahead because of the kills, and some of the farm on, especially the gang playing with his bonuses.
And that's why they're playing so far back. They feel so far behind, and honestly, if you're 3 turrets down, it feels really hard to play this map because these waves can naturally bounce into turrets if they're not pushed out properly. Yeah. Unicorns can surprisingly start playing much better on 2 lanes to start attacking tier 2 turrets.
So with the lack of defensive options for G2, next gen ulti offensively. Get away from the GP lane. Sure, if he TPs after you, it's fine. You win that fight right now as Unicorns of Love. Force and engage. Xerxes, flash is available from him. Body slam flash, and then Exile follows with the Shen ulti. Or this one.
Oh, flash engage from Hilly, but he can't channel the Nethergrass. Keep in mind, Trick accidentally secured that blue buff, stealing it away from Perks a moment or 2 ago.
One thing worth noting here is that the side lane brushes are clear with control wards for Unicorns, but there's wards behind them that mimic their movement, or actually show their movement rather.
Oh, Nethergrass onto Perks. He's got flash and barrier. Petrifying Gaze stuns nobody, but there's no support. G2 are running for their lives. Vizichachi's gone forward. Mithy starts to channel the Crowstalk. He comes over the wall. Exiles the target. He's locked down. He survives a few seconds longer. The Rake and the ulti not going to be enough for a kill. Nobody has died just yet.
Everyone is so low right now on the side of G2. Perks and Mithy going back to base, but this was Unicorns looking for that offensive move. Sadly, Hylissang didn't manage to connect the ulti early.
Yeah, Perks holding his flash. He relies on Vizichachi going for the mind read. If I go for taunt, he's going to think I will taunt flash, so he's going to flash. Perks says, you know what, I'm going to take that a layer deeper. I don't believe you will taunt flash me. And he just walks away.
I know you know, I know you know.
We still get to see how close the fights are. Like, it's actually insane how this game can just swing so quickly. If Unicorns of Love can win one of these fights here, Baron is wide open. You have Malzor in there with your team. You have Shin who can tank it with the Gragas. One good engage from Unicorns, they get the advantage. If G2 can keep stalling, they get the advantage.
Yeah, but on the other side of that coin, one bad engage, and suddenly all these turrets on the side lanes that are so weak right now, they will just tip over and give G2 a 3,000 gold spike.
So you still got a few minutes if you're Unicorns of Love looking for that fight. Xerxes is still sitting with Flash available. No Shin ulti right now. Exile's gonna push top lane, force G2 back to defend that lane, opens up the map, forces G2 to leave the lanes to go into the jungle and then up towards whatever minions are pushing in, giving Unicorns control of the river and the middle part of the map.
Yeah, and G2 playing a 4-1 composition. Cassiopeia and Varus do not want to play on side lanes, and
Nope.
Fiddlestick support isn't a great protector either to play on that side lane. It's not a mobility like a Karma who can help you just move around the map faster. So in essence, Sven is kind of on an island. That's why he's always catching the waves on the side lane and not pushing them out. And now we see a signature move from the Unicorns. Very stealthy Baron.
Alright, stealthy Baron indeed. G2 don't have vision just yet. Mithy's very far away. Okay, Trick has placed a ward into the pit. You saw the gold graph, by the way, very even for Unicorns of Love. And we actually talked about how UOL, throughout the splits, if they go even through most of the game, they can find one explosive moment to win the game, and that's what UOL are looking for.
But we also talked about this kind of game-reading style from G2 Esports, where mostly on the merit of really good vision and control wards and a very intelligent jungler, they shut down a lot of the aggression. Most of the plays that the Unicorns were making were spotted early by G2 and reacted to.
Yeah, we have to remember G2 as a team can match the team fighting of Unicorns of Love, and also they have players who used to play this like very aggressive style, like Trick and Perks coming into the split. They're okay skirmishing, fighting, having aggressive lanes. It's kind of the style they used to actually favor themselves when they won the very first split in the UOL CS. So G2 are not getting surprised right now, but it can also be hard then to do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of the equivalent of fighting a pig in the mud, and you find out they enjoy it, you know? That's what Unicorns are learning right now. When you play this style against G2, they don't mind getting scrappy. They don't mind getting a little dirty sometimes.
And they're also keeping their head about themselves because you're not seeing the same sort of decision-making mistakes. Hilly's been caught several times this series already. Samax with that solo split push getting killed earlier. It could have changed the dynamic of the game if they didn't give away 7 kills early.
I mean, 100%.
You almost see her being popped here from Exile.
He's spotted, by the way.
Terrifying to silence, to Cocoon. And the disengage, really important, but he flashes!
He gets over the chain of corruption. Trick is the target. Stand United was interrupted or cancelled. All of a sudden, Hilly and Chachi and Xerxes, they're running away from the mid lane.
Yeah, Miasma or the Cassiopeia ultimate used to cancel there. Mithy looking for the re-engage potentially, but you see how G2, they see a pick in the jungle, they don't collapse. They know that Shen ulti is coming, so they keep their distance, force it, reset the fight. Now they can creep forward.
Exile trying to go Super Saiyan this game. He's dodging every single ultimate, but he's not finding the kills. 1, 2, and 0. Got a Hex Drink and a Ghost Blade. I am not scared of that talent at 27 minutes.
Oh, it's another Shen ulti as well that didn't result in any kills for Unicorns of Love. Simply just back away from G2's side. Just keep playing the slow game here, where now you get access to a tower because Unicorns just had the opening. They went for the aggressive play, it didn't work. Well, now it's G2's turn.
Guys, I know I was told off for this earlier, but we had the longest living Mountain Drake in game 1 of the series. We've currently got the longest living Cloud Drake.
Hey, that's a really cool point, Trevor.
Thank you very much. Unicorns are looking for a jump to Sven and Mithy as Xerxes is terrified away. Somehow, Unicorns hold onto that mid-outer turret. They've lost 1 in the top lane, and G2 are now pushing back every single blow.
Unicorns are skipping some steps here, just starting the Baron straight away for the second time. It allows all of G2 to stay very safe, spot all the members of Unicorns. Oh, Trick might be caught though.
Trick is in a little bit of pressure. He manages to flash out to safety. Chain of Corruption is being held by Sven. Cannon Barrage comes down. Hellesang gets onto Perks, but he's dead already. Here comes the Shadow Assault. Mithy's the target, but he still stays alive. Sven, the flanking AD carry, is the deadliest AD carry. He's left alone for dead. Samax takes him out. It's a messy fight. 1 for 3. G2 are winning, and they're running away from Xerxes and Samax.
It all started with Unicorns of Love going straight for the Baron here, allowing G2 to get in position and take the fight.
Man, but if G2 played this any tiny bit worse, they get wiped and they lose the Nashor control. There were so many instances of just smart individual mechanical play, honestly, on both sides. Trick, the way he dodges out, the instant repel into flash, then Sven coming in, the way Sven was actually playing forward in the team fights. The entire series, he's been playing backwards, but he's willing to go in. Like, watch this. Trick gets collapsed on, he sees Exile, so he has to repel up, dodges silence, lands instant flash, then Sven comes in. Now, double pincer here. Perkz knows that he may die, but he just goes in for our flash, and suddenly the aggression on Unicorns is so big and they don't know where to go. Samix is running, Xerxes is running, then they're fighting, are they not?
Taunt end up missing from Chachi as well, so Sven stays alive for a little bit longer, and then, yes, he goes down in the end, but it's a one team fight by G2.
Yeah, and Samix, in every single team fight, his first reaction has been to run away and then assess the situation. Whereas G2, they're not having that step. And in that sense, they are a much better team fighting team this series than the Unicorns.
That might allow G2 to pick up that first 3-0. They always go 3-1. Look at this, G2, 2,000 gold in the lead. They're starting Baron.
Good zone from Fiddlesticks, they're aware. They have Execute Smite on Trick. But G2 rarely make it into a 50-50. They're just using this as a bait, but now Perkz has to be careful.
Oh, a little bit of trouble. Cannon Barrage comes down. Exile's the target of Stand United. The fight gets split up again. Look at Samix. He needs to get those autos down. Chachi kills Perkz. The culling takes down Mithy. Samix gets one. G2, they're flanked. They might not be able to get away. Exile throws out the rake. He gets a slowdown. He wants to bring some Hamburg diplomacy. Exile parkours over the wall. Dashes to expect. Gets dropped. Sven is locked by the Nethergrass. Trick is scared, and Sven is dead. G2 are aced.
It's an ace for the Unicorns, and they're looking at Baron Nashor as the spoils of war, and they're keeping their hopes and dreams for a championship alive.
So all Unicorns needed was G2 to stop the Baron. Allow the Unicorns to actually engage on them.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or die. I find it fitting that Xerxes is using the Fnatic Gragas skin, and he had a phenomenal impact in that previous fight. Baron and the lead in Game 3 for Unicorns of Love.
We had early game in favor of Unicorns, but then G2 Esports was just slowly getting the advantage. Hillesang doesn't get hit by ulti, Perkz needs to flash in QSS, and now he's out of position. And then look at Exile jumping in with the offensive Shen ulti, exactly what we talked about earlier. Put it on Exile after Xerxes already engaged.
Yeah, instant reaction right there. The QSS actually broke the expected result there for Xerxes, but it was enough. Now they're kiting. I love how G2 still get Exile, but in the end, Malzahar still has the ultimate available, and it was the failed pickup from Perkz that was a catalyst for this team fight.
And Unicorns, they finally win a fight after baiting, building hope for so long. Sven realizes. Unicorns, okay, so 3 towers to 2. They've got Baron. They had side lane pressure about 15 minutes ago. What do they have to do next to guarantee and solidify a lead here?
Cloud Drake.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes!
That bad boy's been alive for quite a while, Trevor.
It is actually quite strange that there have been so few dragons taken in this series. But it's because
now you want to talk about dragons?
Yeah, but I don't care about your boring stat, Trevor. It's
longest living Cloud Drake in European LCS Spring Split, okay?
And if that doesn't make you very happy, whoa!
Okay, I'm the only one, so.
Yeah, all right. So likes his Cloud Dragons. So you asked the question, they need to keep the map open, and then collapse. Just push the side lanes, go back to the mid lane, it's kind of accordion, in and out, and then find somebody with a body slam flash engage. However, G2's comp is catered around re-engaging and punishing overstepping.
All right, Stand United should finish here for Vizichachi. Hillesang will be able to get the redemption down. Sven's arrow falls short. Not going to find the knee of any Unicorns member. Yep. UOL, defensive Stand United, they cannot push that lead.
Season 4 arrow, not good enough.
Xerxes, no flash, but does have cask. G2, I'm looking at their wave clear. Going to be very reliant here on Sven. Miasma comes out, trying to deny any engage, and UOL, they're not committing for the tower yet. They found Mithy. Mithy flashes defensively, the rake comes out. Exile parkours over the wall, and Chain of Corruption slowly spreading. Piercing arrow comes down, Exile is going to parkour over the turret corpse. But G2 hold, crucially.
Unicorns know they can't just go and hit the tower. They have to respect the damage on G2. We are, after all, like 33 minutes into the game, so one death here can cost a lot. I like the engage showing to then quickly disengage.
Yeah.
Everyone saves the dashes to get back out, so no one actually dies, but G2 with a good defense here.
That also has been the cadence for a lot of the victorious G2 fights. get an engage themselves, lure the unicorns in, and then punish. That's what they've been doing consistently well. Mithy goes out with the flash eventually, and then they're hoping to lure the unicorns forward and kite them out and then turn on the offensive.
Sven with the Rage Blade build here on Varus, something we see when you play against a lot of tanks, a lot of melee champions where you get a lot of auto attacks off. Then it's actually an insane amount of damage he gets. Trick getting caught though.
All right, can he get out alive? Flash is available to him. Repels up, lands down. Not killed yet.
Oh,
Chachi's taunt was short. It was short. No kill
Ignite.
secured. Mithy goes around with the crow storm. He jumps in. Exile is terrified, but look at the culling. Every single bullet onto Mithy. He doesn't go down. Expect looking to re-engage. Powder kick goes down. It's popped. There's no boom onto UOL. Trick died in the fight though.
So they got to kill in the end here. We see this engage from Hylissang. Whenever he lands the proper ulti, they do kill someone. That's important for Unicorns of Love. Only QSS right now on Perks.
Ah, has to feel so bad for Mithy, going in with the perfect Fiddlesticks ultimate every time. And then you remember, playing support. You're building redemption.
Support Fiddlestick. The only thing that seems to work at the moment.
It's only one Fiddlestick, it's not even Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, true. Easy peasy for Hylissang though. What Mousehole does best, click R.
What Chen does best, press E.
Miss taunt. Sick ulti, and my team is not here.
And I'm walking out.
Perks wasn't in range really to get any Twin Fangs down. So look, let's commend UOL. They're finding some kills, but Baron has not unlocked a tower. G2, they've just yelled, "You shall not pass. You shall not take our inner turrets," and they've held it again and again and again.
You just ruined a perfectly good quote right there, Trevor.
I think it's copyrighted.
Let's see if they can get something else though. Because Hylissang, flash available, Trick again.
All right, Trick this time around, no flash available, but there's no follow-up damage.
No!
The barrel misses as well. Xerxes overshoots. Chachi was locked down by the cocoon. He's not going to be long for this world. It's a 1-for-1. Top laner for jungler, but no front line outside of Xerxes.
G2 have to push in the mid lane though, and that makes it much easier to force Unicorns towards them. However, Talon is in the bottom lane.
So tower will go down there, but G2 trying to get the mid tower as a trade here. Gotta be careful though with that inhib turret as well on the bottom side. If you are G2, they are recalling now. They're sending some members forward. No ulti from Expect to kill the wave. We get a bit of a small base race here.
Who's going to win this race? Sven solo with Rage Blade, Hurricane, Blade of the Ruined King.
And the Fiddlesticks!
He's shredding those towers. Fiddlesticks keeps lobbing out. Whatever those things are, Culling manages to drop Perks to 50% HP. But look at Expect. Powder Cakes clear out the wave. So far, it's 2 towers for 1.
Yeah, how are 2 guys defending from G2? Does even flash engage?
All right, Perks goes down. Exile takes him out.
Thank you.
The Inhibitor Tower follows, and now all of a sudden the base race is on. Inhibitor is the target for the Unicorns of Love, and recalls from G2.
That makes you wonder, why was Mithy in the mid lane and not helping his team
Nearly
soak up the
flashed.
engage? There's a bannered creep! And it's dead.
Was a bannered creep. Unicorns of Love wisely back away this time round.
Hilly flashed forward there, trying to get Trick again, I feel like. Missed it in the end. So another flash down that is so important for Malzahar in these late game fights that he can do. Flash in. Going for Mithy though, he's flashing out.
He sneaks away. Shen ultimate used, and a moment of reprieve right now for both these teams looking at the setup. And now there's this wave constantly tunneling up in the bottom lane as we're going to require some attention. Luckily, Gangplank can hold it and still have an immediate impact in the fight as he channels teleport with Cannon Barrage.
Man, G2, they just keep fighting and digging deep and scrappy holding.
Scrappy.
Unicorns, how do they finish? Okay, 65,000 gold apiece.
Not fast.
8 minutes into the game.
I mean, as long as there's only 1 QSS on the side of G2, there's a lot of targets that's very easy to actually take down if you are Unicorns. Gotta time the engages properly.
And this player is the fatigue or nerves. They're slowly getting to them because in game 1 we saw a lot of skill shot accuracy, but now we've seen taunts go wide, Cocoon's missing, Jungler's getting nether grasped. Definitely excites me if it goes more into a series.
Oh yes, more games is definitely what the Barclaycard Arena in Hamburg wants, and definitely what I want to cast. And it means this Baron cannot be a throw. Trick is going to get taunted up by the Shadow Dash. Here comes Perks on the side. He catches Exile. Xerxes going to body slam to safety. He's already used the cast. The fight is split up. Perks gets cold where he stands. Vizachachi gets another. Exile's on a killing spree. Expect is trying to get one back. Hylissang buys some time with the exhaust. So far, 4 members of G2 are down for 2 of UOL.
Remember, we got super minions in the bottom lane. Chachi's TPing in. Samak's full HP. He can finish the game.
He can indeed. Look at those death timers. Vizichachi's ushering in the super minions. Here come the unicorns. Expect has to wave clear against 3 members of the UOL. Samax is on the inhibitor, Nexus turret. Body slam onto Expect. He's the
Just hit
last
the
man
tower.
standing. Expect goes backward. Stand United by some time. G2 are aced. They've done it. The Unicorns of Love with their backs against the wall, with no more room for error, with no more possibilities for mistakes. Pick up their first win in the spring finals.
And we got ourselves a series. The Unicorns, they strike back, igniting the Barclaycard Arena right here in Hamburg. And we're going to game 4.
Letting the crowd speak for them. Ramar warmed the team, the audience, the arena up